Hi, my name's Keith Cooper for Northlight Images, and under this pile of paper here is the Canon G550 printer. It's a 6-ink ink tank printer. It's G550 is this model. 650 in the UK has a scanner on top. It's got lots of other model numbers throughout the world. G500 series, G600 series. The key is that there are 6 dye-based inks: black, grey, red, cyan, magenta, yellow. And I've looked at it in terms of using it for black and white, for colour, got a review of it, and this is really answering the question as what paper should I use for the printer here, this G550. Well, this is some of the paper I've tested it with. Now, obviously I start any testing with OEM or original equipment manufacturer, so that's Canon in this case, Canon paper. So I've got some Canon Premium Fine Art Rough, I've got some Canon Glossy and some Canon Lustre paper, and I use those for the basic testing of the printer. But beyond that, I tend to use papers I can get from local suppliers to me in Leicester in the UK, and that's Paper Spectrum, or under the Pinnacle brand, which is based here in Leicester near the National Space Centre, and Permajet, who are not based that very far away from here. Now, the key to getting good results from this printer, I've found, is making printer profiles. So you want a paper supplier that can supply you with profiles, preferably. Now, for printing on Windows, and this is unusual in this instance in that it's different on Windows and the Mac, you just use for Windows a normal ACC profile. That works. You get a profile for the paper, and you're away. For printing on the Mac, you need a profile that's been made using a Mac. It's due to the driver choices doesn't support proper colour management. There are workarounds. I've got some stuff about black and white and lots of colour prints to show you that yes, you can get good prints. So the colours on that's a glossy paper, it's a Canon glossy paper, very nice colours. Likewise, there's on the Fine Art Rough, very nice colours again. What sorts of paper can you use for this? Well, I've got Pinnacle, a 300 gram lustre. That's almost the same as the normal lustre, just thicker. I've got several other of their papers in greetings card format. Now, these are pre-creased and come with envelopes. Now, so I've got a Photo Glossy 240 gram. The reason I'm giving the details here, and I put the details in the text that goes with the video, is that I don't expect you, if you're in the US, you won't be able to get this, but you may be able to get something similar. And there are only a limited number of paper manufacturers, so it's quite likely, certainly for a printer at this level, that you can try a profile and media setting that you think is similar to what you get, and you may get better results from it. This is not a pro-level printer, so it doesn't support much in the way of colour management, but it's capable of very acceptable results. So as I say, that's a 240 gram glossy, semi-gloss 300. So that's similar to the lustre, but slightly different surface finish. Works very nicely on that one. That's a double-sided, and if you want to print cards and you want to print on both sides, you need double-sided media. That's a double-sided 300 gram matte. So that prints very similarly to any other matte art papers that you might find down here. And that is an etching paper. Now, this etching paper is one I used for creating these cards. It's nice, they're pre-creased, they come with envelopes, very easy to use. Quite a lot of companies now are making paper available in settings like this. So look for the envelopes as well, and then you'll get suitable range of sizes. Obviously I'm using A4 for all of these, and some smaller ones. Elsewhere there are lots of other paper sizes supported, but they may not be so widely available. To the Permajet papers, a titanium gloss. Now, on dye-based printers, this has a metallic shine to it that produces really nice results on some images. All papers depend on what the image is and how you want the image to look like. There is no best paper. People say, what's the best paper for this printer, Keith? I don't know. What you got? What do you like? That's what makes a difference. So that's Permajet. Now Permajet will actually provide profiles. You'll print something out, send it off to them, and they'll make you a profile. Just remember that it's different on Mac and PC in this instance. Normally profiles work for both, there's no difference between them, but annoyingly in this case you have to do a different approach for the Mac. So that's that one there. Oyster 271. Now that's another lustre paper. It's very similar to this 300 gram lustre. Slightly lighter, so slightly thinner. If you come up with a lustre paper that looks like one, and it's anywhere between, let's say, 270, 300 grams, then it's quite likely to be a very similar paper, and the profiles may well work for it. That's if you can't get custom profiles. I would say that using just the bare printer driver out the box, not doing any colour management, results are okay. For a cheap printer, okay. I wouldn't accept them. Add in colour profiles and you've got pictures that actually come out rather nice. So anyway, that's a lustre. Artist Watercolor 250. This prints very well on this. I've tried several different watercolour papers. You have to use the fine art rough. It's the only fine art media setting on the printer and in the driver. But with a profile, makes very nice results. So there's quite a stiff paper for 250 gram, still quite stiff. Nice results on that, gives a nice finish. Watercolor, and that one, Matte Plus 240. Well, I'm going to say that's going to be virtually identical to the 230 gram matte, albeit that one was double-sided. It's very similar. There are only so many different types of basic matte paper. There is a matte paper setting in here, by the way, for this. So this is 240, 230, 250, 220, anything like that. If you see a matte photo paper at, say, 190, a lightweight one, yeah, it's going to be lightweight, so it's going to show through the backing quite easily. But it's likely to print very similarly to this. But anyway, there you've got, if you want to make your own profiles, by the way, I should just add, you can always use something like Color Checker Studio. Now I've got a video showing making profiles for this. It's quite simple to do. I don't know I'd necessarily recommend one of these for average amateur photographers doing a few prints, but maybe for a camera club or something like that, you can share it round, you can make your own profiles, and everyone makes better prints. So there you've got it. These are just two local suppliers. There are loads of others. Just because I've picked these doesn't mean they're automatically better than others. They're just very local to me, so it's very easy for testing. And there you've got it. Now, all kinds of things. That's roll paper. That's a thin matte paper taken off a roll. Use that for panoramic prints on a printer like this. Plain paper, as you'd expect, plain paper, not overly impressive for colour photos, but yeah, for plain paper, it looks okay. Anyway, hope that's been of use. Do check out the details with the video because they've got links to all different stuff, my profiles and things, and many of my profiles I'm going to be making available for free for non-commercial use. If you want to use them commercially, then contact me directly about it. But in general, the ones they're free for non-commercial use. So hope that's helpful, and thank you very much.